Good day, viewers. You are welcome to Home Builders Television. Today, we are considering another topic, raising godly children. One of the reasons God brings two people together in marriage is for the purpose of raising godly children, children who will be like Him. God expects couples to produce and raise godly seeds that are God-fearing, God-conscious, upright, and righteous generation. The responsibility of raising godly children has been entrusted to parents. However, raising godly children in a hostile society of ours poses a great challenge to parents. In this episode, we are going to look at the following: with children, who are they? The effect of Satan, sin, and man's mind in corrupting our society. Also, we are going to look at how we can raise godly children. Children, who are they? The book of Psalms 127 verses 3 to 5 made us realize that they are God's heritage. Means that children are heritage of God. He owns them. The life in the children are God's. They are God's gifts, blessings, reward to couples in fulfillment of God's pronouncement upon man in Genesis 1:2-8. They are God's weapon of warfare to combat the kingdom of Satan. In essence, they are arrows. They are battle axes in God's hand. Therefore, godly children, they are not accidental or incidental to our marriages. They are part of God's divine plan to raise generations of godly, righteous men and women who will be used by Him to destroy Satan's plan towards mankind. The effect of sin, Satan, and man's mind in corrupting our generation. We look at creation. Man was made in the image of God. The blessings to be fruitful and multiply was equally bestowed on him. God said that man should be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth with his like. In essence, man was expected to populate the earth with his likes, that is, in the image of God. However, the fall of man in the Garden of Eden truncated this. Man lost the image of God and inherited Satan's nature, which is sin. His offspring also inherited sin. Hence, the need to raise successors, to produce generation of upright, God-fearing, righteous, and godly people. Raising godly children, how do we go about it? Raising godly children is a great challenge and also a great privilege. God has given us His principles by which parents can fulfill this assignment. The role of parents in raising godly children, like I've said earlier, is a sacred trust from God, and He has ordained ways of carrying out this responsibility. We must equally note that God is the best model of parenting. Is the God our Father. Also, parents should also know that only godly parents can raise godly children. Let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 6 verses 5-9 for some tips on how to raise godly children. In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 from verse 5 downward, God through Moses commanded the children of Israel to teach their children the word of God. They are to teach their children in godliness and in character. They are to teach their children diligently. When we talk of diligence, we are talking about being, that is, diligence requires hard work, patience, persistence, repetition, encouragement, availability, and commitment, especially on the part of the parents. When you train your children, you are training them to be confident, to be honest, to be hardworking, obedient, patient, God-fearing, and righteous. That's the essence of God instituting marriage. Without parents fulfilling this obligation, the plan of God for man cannot be fulfilled. Effective cultivation of this also will significantly result from parents' lifestyle. Means that lifestyle of children, of our parents, is very important when you want to teach your children or train them in godliness. Number 2, we are to discipline our children. The biblical junction to discipline our children is contained in Proverbs 13 verse 24, which says, he that spares the rod hates his son, but he that loves him chastens him early. Also in the book of Proverbs chapter 22 verse 15, it says, foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him. Also, in the book of Proverbs chapter 19 verse 18, it says, chasten your son while there is hope, and let not your soul spare for his crying. In essence, we are saying that the Bible enjoins the parents to discipline their children. What is discipline? Discipline is a training to act in accordance with rules, and it involves activity, exercise, or regiment. Also, it involves punishment inflicted by way of correction or training. The purpose of discipline is to make them godly. Effective discipline, however, should be done in love. Parents should love their children. Parents should make their children realize that they are being disciplined out of the love they have for them. Then discipline must be consistent. Parents must be consistent in disciplining their children appropriately, and the discipline must also be fair. Create intimacy, not alienation. Parents also should be united in disciplining their children in the way of God. How to discipline our children? First of all, use correction, rebuke, or reproof, or punishment. Also, it can be in form of corrective communication and punishment. From experience, when children are very young, it is very essential to use physical correction, use of rod to correct them, more than use of corrective communication. But as they grow older, parents can start to use corrective communication more than punishment. Parents should know when to spank their children. Spank should not injure the children or put a permanent mark on their lives. This can make the children to be bitter against their parents in future. Another thing that we want to know in raising godly children is that parents should love and admire their children. In the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 4, it says that they may teach the young women to be sensible, to love their husbands, to love their children. Love is very strong and powerful, and it is very interesting to know that children thrive on love. When you love children, they are bound to obey you. They too will reciprocate your love in return. Areas to show love, we must give them our full attention, especially when they are talking to us. We should give them time, we should be available, and we should be involved in all areas of their lives. Area, again, to show our love, we should hug them, kiss them, smile at them. Another thing is that we should admire our children. We should not compare our children with another children. We should appreciate them, especially when they do something that impresses us. We should appreciate them in whatever they do. Also, parents should pray and trust God for their children. Parents should be proactive in praying for their children. Prayer will guide our children and shield them from this polluted world. We cannot take our children out of the world, but our prayers can protect them and shield them from all evils. Areas that we need to pray for our children, including salvation. We should pray for their salvation, that they know God and accept the Lord Jesus Christ into their lives early in life. Holiness is another thing that we should pray for them on. They should have zero tolerance for sin. Fear of the Lord must be in their hearts, in their everyday life. Courage, we should pray for courage for them to face life challenges. Compassion, we should also pray that they have compassion on the less privileged. Then protection for them, we should pray that God should protect them from the evil of the world. Also, respect, that they should have respect for constituted authorities. We should pray for how they choose their friends, that they should be able to choose godly friends. Then we should pray for wisdom for them, wisdom to take godly decisions in their day-to-day life. Also, we should pray that God should direct their affairs and the peace of God should reign in their hearts. Equally, parents should trust God for his promises over their children. Even though you might not see your efforts upon your children, believe God and his word, that your efforts over your children will not be wasted. We have to be persuaded of the promise of God, and we have to embrace it like the men of old. They saw the promises of God being fulfilled in their lives, they embraced it, and they confessed that truly they are strangers in this world. In conclusion, parents are to be model of godliness to their children. Are you godly? Think on this. God still counts on you. Rise up and take the challenge. Thank you for listening. We meet again.